Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Oh boy, I have to tell you, everybody, that was weird. And now we're what is happening? What just happened? Okay.
And I don't see anybody on stage.
Oh, there we go.
There we are.
Yeah, my goodness. Okay, Evie Mux.
I'm here.
Evie Mux is a hot mess. And Tox, please, yes, fix this.
Why am I here?
Look, we went early because Valiant, nothing was going the way it should. Valiant is moving his show to later in the day. So he said, do you want to take this? And I said, sure thing, Valiant. Sure thing. So, no, he's only moving it today.
You're not on stage, Tux. Nobody can hear you and your fan.
He's only moving it today. Yeah. All right, real quick. On the other show that lasted for all of 10 seconds, or however long it was, okay, Archie Mitchell said, after 5 months of membership, howdy, folks. Well, thank you for that. Then the amazing Scott Westbrook gave 5 Culture Casino memberships. Thank you for that. And then Big Daddy MRI busted out 10 Culture Casino memberships. That's 15 memberships. Amazing generosity, incredibly fast stream. That was that one made the most amount of money per minute that I've ever done a stream. So thank you for that.
Congratulations. Culture stream when he was younger.
You guys are terrible. I am going to have to get rid of that stream because there were 50 views on that stream and it was there for all of 2 seconds. So, we're gonna make that one invisible. Anyway, hi everybody. Welcome to the Sunday late night culture in the afternoon, and all of that. So, yeah. We want to say thank you to Valiant Renegade for surrendering his spot this evening. So thanks. Yeah, we're going to turn monetization on this stream. That's right. And we're going to make sure we are all set. All right. Hi, everybody. I hope you're having an incredible weekend and not the same kind of bologna sausage we just did. We have so many of you here today. I want to say hi to a few of you before we get fired up. What a great stream we've had so far. Josh Hammond was here early. So was Low Spec, Walter Tomaszewski. I dropped the link to my video, which is right there. You can check that out. I'm not sure if we're live over on Rumble. I don't even know. It could have been a 10-second stream. No idea. That's major fail on my side of things. I don't know what happened, but we did end up with Matt here. Thank you for that. Dr. Megatron's in the house. The lovely Ruby Hoove is here. Jeremiah Embre is here, and I'm so glad that I was able to fill in. We got a gifted membership from your average Patriot Nerd, 1 Culture Casino membership. Thank you for that. We got Jeremiah Hembry sending a super chat. Let's get to that real quick. And it's not showing up. Is it starred? No. Okay. Yeah.
Nobody vamps like Culture.
Yeah, he says, thank you. He says there are 6 books in the Asian saga that starts with Shogun. So that means 5 seasons. Yeah, but they're all different. I mean, the second season shouldn't have the same protagonist in it, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, Brahma.
I mean, it shouldn't, because that was the end of the book. Was the end of the season, which was I'm split between. I loved it, but I also feel cheated that we didn't get the big battle that it built up to. That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't actually. Yeah, I don't know. I do know this, that when we're done here, we'll be redirecting to one of the 3 live streams that will be happening. So to answer that from Jeremiah Hembry, yeah. So we'll definitely try to get that in the description for everybody as well. All the streams that are going to follow this one will be in the description when we're done. Let's see. We got a membership chat here. Lots of people gifted memberships. Thank you for that. You guys are amazing. Big Daddy, of course, was 10, and Scott Westbrook gifted 5 Culture Casino memberships, as I mentioned before. Members, Olaf Von S. sent a member chat saying, Culture, I don't mind the move to the time slot. We'll watch VR now, replays on Mondays. No. This is not permanent, just so you know, Olaf. This is not a permanent shift. We are only doing this one time, swapping places with VR. So, yeah, there's that. And DJ Ronnie G says hello to everybody. It's good to see you. There we go. Yeah, we're all caught up. All right, guys, what do you want to talk about? There's all kinds of stuff going on.
I want to talk about EV Mux and how they need a new jitterbug mode.
What's the jitterbug mode?
Boomer. For old people. You don't remember the jitterbug phone?
They sell it at Walmart. They still do.
Do they still do?
Walmart. Yes, they do.
It has a giant buttons for old people to see so they don't mess up. That's the one.
It's like, I'm gonna wear my zoot suit when I take my flip phone with the giant buttons out.
It's got like 2 buttons. Call your kid or call the police.
It's funny. It has less functions than the phone you give your 7-year-old.
You guys are kind of mean. Just letting you know. I mean, it wasn't my fault. Ask Brahma. I did nothing wrong.
It's not my fault.
I don't have access to the backstage on yours.
Culture did nothing wrong.
It seemed like you did everything okay. Obviously, it didn't turn out okay.
No.
But we're here now.
That's right. So let's get to it. All right. I know what I want to talk about. First subject up is going to be, well, a very disappointing box office for a film that I saw, so you didn't have to. I did a review on it, and you don't have to see it. It was, if I can get it on the screen. There we go. This is super fun.
Jitterbug.
No, I was totally wrong about the jitterbug thing.
You suck.
All I hear
Anyway.
is Mad's brain. His internal monologue is just thinking jitterbug, jitterbug.
All right. Well, look at this. All right. So, so if didn't do very well, it buddied up to 59 million global.
Did you
Second
catch
place was
Deadline?
8.
Like in their revamp, was like it was never going to go to 40, so 34 was actually really good. I was like, oh, you guys, it's so obvious.
Deadline has problems. Let's just be honest about
Well,
it.
the thing with Deadline is if you read their box office article, it'll just have updates as stuff comes in over the weekend.
Yeah.
So you can just scroll down and read their initial take where they're completely like, oh, this
Way
is
off.
going to be 40 and it's going to be a great weekend
Well,
that helps saves box office.
I think what they're telling you is that a lot of people on Twitter owe TJ Miller a huge apology for freaking out over him saying, well, Ryan Reynolds wasn't really a movie star before Deadpool. This just proves that Ryan Reynolds is not a fucking movie star. We may like him.
There are no movie stars left.
But there are none. Exactly. Like
There
he couldn't
haven't
open
been
this
movie
movie.
stars since the 90s.
And this movie is horribly titled. That's the other problem. Like
Yeah. It should have just been called Invisible
Imaginary Friends or Invisible Friends
What
or
they
whatever.
should have done is just spent the money to license Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends from the Cartoon Network to actually have a built-in like something that people would remember fondly.
Well,
which, by the way, was
honestly,
a great
Chad,
cartoon.
Besides the whole, joke I made about being a ripoff of Drop Dead Fred, I'll give him credit for trying something original and putting somebody like Ryan
I'll
Reynolds
challenge
in
you,
it.
Tom, because I told Culture this before we started. It's not a ripoff of Drop Dead Fred. It's a ripoff of Sixth Sense.
Either way, I'm just saying, like, this whole idea of an Imaginary Friends movie, like, at least it's coming to the table with an original-ish idea was my point I was going to get to anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not seeing the chat at all. So, guys, if I miss a chat, I promise you
Are
it
we
wasn't on
live?
purpose. We are live. We're still
sure?
live. I'm pretty
Jitterbug.
sure. But no, you're right. I mean, there's a lot of things this was. Little
me
Chad,
up.
you had an opinion on this film that I thought was quite brilliant.
I mean, this movie is. I mean, it's the number one. The only thing that carries this movie is the charm of the lead kid actor, the whatever her name was. I don't even know her name.
Really made an impact.
No, but because you don't know kid actors' names, I'm not some like Nickelodeon producer trying to pick them up or anything.
You mean Dan Schneider?
Yeah,
Too soon,
exactly.
too soon.
But she actually had that's why it reminded me a lot of The Sixth Sense. They had a really engaging lead child actor. The plot was very similar to Sixth Sense in terms of the mechanics of it, and that's what carried it. Like any scenes that had impact, it's because she's really good. She helps pull you into the emotional, I guess, core of whatever scene, because there are, especially in the third act of this movie, they do have what some people might describe as emotionally manipulative type scenes to try to just trigger you. And when I was talking on my show about it on Friday with my co-host Slender Dad, we're both we both lost parents earlier on in life, and so for somebody in that situation, this movie is going to hit hard. I think harder than it would for otherwise. And I think Culture, you might agree with this. This movie isn't for like 7-year-olds. This is more tween and above. Would be like tween to like later teens is where it would really actually be most effective.
Well, and again, I mean, I was like, look, this needs to be like 10 and up, 12 and up in order for this to like actually like make sense for young people. So, yeah, but look, I mean, it really didn't do great overseas either. I mean, 24 million overseas, $35 million here in the States, global total 59 million. That's not knocking it out of the park, and it's very short of the $40 million they were projecting.
Do we know what the budget on this movie was?
Yeah, it was pretty substantial.
That's see what got me is this movie was. I mean, John Krasinski is a very capable director. I think he wanted to make a movie his kids could watch since he had made Quiet Place, and I don't think his young daughters are probably ones he wanted to take to go see those movies.
Right.
So he switched it up, because actors and filmmakers will do that every now. They want to do some kind of work their kids when they're young can watch. But this movie, as good as his directing was and as nice as it was to have all these name actors, nothing about this said that it couldn't have been a Disney Channel original movie from the early 2000s. Like,
No, and that, you know, you're 100% right. And when I reflect back on the film, I'm like, okay, this really didn't target adults. It tried to be two films, right? It had the first two acts were aimed at, you know, young people, and the second part of the third act was aimed at adults. And, you know, you could tell that the kids were getting restless in the theater because they started walking around the theater, you know, towards the end of the film.
yeah,
At
it
least
seemed
in my
like-
experience.
Yeah, it seemed like
So,
they were trying to pull like the Pixar thing where they were trying to be deeper emotionally to, you know, get the parents in a kids movie, but
right.
it just wasn't a kids movie. Like there were elements that might have entered like my 9-year-old, like some of the character designs for the imaginary friends, some were kid friendly and interesting and would have kept them entertained, and some like the marshmallow with the face melting was a
That was a little weird.
weird and probably off-putting. You, you know, and there was some other. I mean, I did enjoy the running gag of the invisible imaginary friend. That was actually not too bad.
Yeah.
And
And
if you catch the credits, it was a running gag going back to Deadpool with Ryan Reynolds, where they said it was played by Brad Pitt. So,
yeah, and it wasn't really it wasn't really a film that I think that a lot of people knew what it was about. But what's interesting is, and I'm gonna pull this story down to replace it with something else, but is what it did at the actual box office, because in comparison to everything else, it found a way to not stand out, because you had a pretty decent collapse here of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes of 55% fall. Nothing like a superhero fall,
That's
but
not
then again,
bad.
yeah, but
No.
then again, it didn't open to a huge number either. So
Planet of the Apes is the same problem. It's perfectly acceptable box office for what it is. It just they're spending so much money on these movies.
Well,
well, the
with
Planet of the
apes, I
Apes
think the
is
bigger
like-
problem. I just
Go
want
ahead,
to say,
Tom.
with apes, I
Yeah.
think the bigger problem here because the movie, and a lot of people have been down or like playing down its opening. Like it opened right around the same range as the other films, sans Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which is just some kind of fucking anomaly. That for some reason that one managed to gross $700 million when none of the other films in the franchise came close to that. But anyway, that being said, for a fourth film in a franchise that hasn't had a movie in 7 years, and to come that close to what the other films, and even take into factor some inflation and the fact that the budget isn't that high, the thing that's going to hurt this movie is the expectation now of the audience that, unfortunately, after this weekend, most people are just going to wait for it to come on streaming now. Right?
Yep.
You're not going to get people coming in a little later to the game like they used to where movies like this normally would have a little bit more of a legs throughout the summer because you knew it wasn't going to come to video until Christmas. Well, now most people know this sucker is going to be on streaming by August.
If
Why
not
should
sooner.
they waste if not sooner, exactly. So it'll be on video by August. You're right, Mad. It'll be on streaming by July, if not sooner. So
I mean-
why would people waste their time now to go see it in the theater when
Yeah.
it's-
The same weekend like Kong X Godzilla or Godzilla X Kong?
and I think
It
that
did-
hurt that movie's
that hit
potential
digital
too.
already too. That's a what,
Mhm.
a 4-week window? There's no
Yeah.
way that's ridiculous. I mean,
yeah,
as someone who worked in the theater industry for almost a decade, movie theaters cannot function with a window that small.
Well, and Chad, then you know what I'm getting at too, because those weeks that are after the first 2 or 3
is where the
weekend
split
windows
gets best for the
is where
theater.
the split gets better for the theater, exactly. And that's why when I hear people bitch about the problems with the theaters, like I get you. I don't even go to the theater nearly as much as I used to, but the problems that most of the theaters are having are not the theater's fault. It's the studios who keep putting the squeeze on them, and then when they're doing this to them, they're not making any money. They're still
We-
not making any money.
we
That's
would
why they got to
complain-
charge you $20 for a bucket of popcorn.
Oh, it's even, yeah. I mean, well, soda's even better than popcorn, at least it
Right,
used to be.
right.
yeah.
Because
So
I can tell you, we would get a 2.5-gallon box of syrup, and it used to cost us, and this is in the late '90s, about $2.25 per box,
Right.
and we would get 25 to 30 gallons of soda out of that, and we were charging at the time like $5 for a soda.
Right.
So you can see how much profit margin is in the.
It was the same thing in fast food. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But the thing here's and this is, I bring up the example with Spider-Man, right? The first Spider-Man set the opening weekend box office record, and the reason it did that, and because I was working at AMC, and we were all shocked when Sony did this. They offered 50-50 split from week 1.
Well,
So we had 15
Wow.
theaters and 12 of them played Spider-Man.
Well,
Because our bookers were like, hell yeah, we're making more money on a 20% capacity Spider-Man theater than a sellout
Right?
of anything else.
yeah.
I didn't know that, Chad. I didn't know that at the time. That's actually extremely abnormal.
Well, that's
Okay,
because Sony
real-
wanted the record. They
Okay.
wanted Spider-Man to be the #1 box office of all time.
and
opening
it
weekend.
and it did work, and they did get that, and it was well done. But real quick, I want to grab the super chat now. I'm gonna have to bring the chats in from the outside, guys, so bear with me. Walter Tomazuski for $4.99 for $5 says, why are so many modern cinematic scores so god awful? Too many temp tracks, not enough time to write memorable scores, not enough talented composers.
I
Good.
don't know if I agree with that at all.
I
I-
agree with it. But
I
go
think
ahead.
I think Zimmer had the score for the Dune 2, not the first one. The first one was
Oh,
horrible.
get rid of him. Fuck him. This Zimmer shit. Get out of
I
here.
like the score
That
on
is
Dune 2.
noise. It is fucking noise,
Oh my
dude.
god, here we go. Dude, I really like the one on Dune 2, not the first Dune.
My
But
ass
you have
could write a
guys
better score.
you have
Zimmer
guys in
also-
I listen, the guy that did Westworld and did the three body problem,
Yeah.
pretty close to it. I think
and,
he's phenomenal. And the guy that did murder in
and the
only
Nine Inch-
murders in only murders in the building.
And
That
Trent
score,
Trent Reznor
Yeah.
does.
Hey guys, don't
really
talk over
interesting
each
work.
other, please.
Yeah, I
So,
was-
There's a few, but
I was in the
we
middle
do
of the
not
sentence.
have the caliber
Yeah.
of Jerry Goldsmith, John
Well, of course not.
Williams. Well, that's my point. And even an Ennio Morricone. Like, can you name anybody that comes to those levels? No, because most of these guys, and it's not all their fault. To answer that question, this kind of answers itself within the question itself, is that they're in a lot of these movies, you're making reboots and remakes of shit. So you're just emulating what somebody did before. Like, I turned around and this Apes movie was the first Apes soundtrack I bought since the old ones. You want to know why? Because there's a bunch of callbacks to the Jerry Goldsmith score in it. That's why. That's the only fucking reason. Like, none of this shit is memorable. Even the Marvel stuff. Like, you have to go back to
Avengers,
like the first
had a
Avengers
good-
film with the Alan Silvestri stuff and all that kind of business to get a memorable score. And he's probably one of the last. And I will give Zimmerman and Zimmer or whatever is a little bit of credit. He used to be great. But I think a lot of these guys are pigeonholed by, they can't really expand upon what they're doing because they're kind of stuck emulating something else already. And then the other thing is that they don't have access to the orchestras and all the other cool things. So they're just doing stuff on their home computers a lot of times, I think. And they don't really have any real imagination. And then a lot of these directors get so married to the temp tracks, which you also brought up. And this has gotten to the point where it's gotten them in more legal trouble than ever. So, like, they can't even pretend that it's not a problem, right? Because we've never had that before where we've had so many people go to court over, their music being stolen from a movie because they just use a temp track, and then the composer gets so, like, the director's like, well, I just want that, basically like that. So then the composer will copy that, and then they find themselves in trouble because they've copied somebody else's work, basically. So yeah,
I mean,
it's
Helldivers
a perfect
2
storm.
is a good video gaming is where a lot of the good composing is getting done right now. Like there's been a lot of good work with the music in video games. Like, I mean, I know the Helldivers 2 score is pretty awesome.
It is. I
Makes
agree.
you
All
wanna
the
go-
From Software scores are great.
Yeah. So I wish they would look to some of the people doing video game scoring to maybe, I guess, level up into movies. Or it might not even be a level up at this point, though. You might be getting paid and get more attention doing video.
You probably
game
do for
scores.
gaming, get more
Yeah.
money because there's more money in it at the end of the day.
And like you said, Tom, there's probably less where you're worried about like temp tracks and getting your stuff stolen than in a game track, maybe.
Well, yeah, because they're probably allowed to be a lot more loose and do what you want. Like, games don't generally have a set of themes. I mean, some do, don't get me wrong, but I mean, not to the extent of movies where we get kind of married to a theme or a song. And then, and that's kind of where a lot of directors have done that. They'll use temp tracks from something completely unrelated, and then that composer is stuck trying to make something that sounds like it, has the same feeling, but then not deviate too far from it. But then it's like, okay, well, now you're getting into territory where you're literally just copying it. And don't get me wrong, composers have always used shortcuts in the past, but a lot of times it was composers lifting their own shit, right? Like,
Oh,
Jerry
John
Goldsmith's a good
Williams.
example of that. John Williams does that stuff. Yeah, like, I mean, Jerry Goldsmith would literally reuse cues. Like in
John
the
Williams,
Burbs and
like-
Gremlins 2 are half of the same soundtrack.
I mean, if you go back to Kroll, watch Kroll back to back with Wrath of Khan, and tell me that that he didn't just lift his entire soundtrack.
He did. He probably did.
Because he was under a deadline for one of them.
You got a puppet
And
in
back-
the back.
Yeah,
Oh,
we got a
do we?
puppet in the back. But back then, I think a lot of those guys also owned a lot more of their music than they do now, too. That could be another problem, is that the studios insist on owning this stuff, so it has to be original. In a way,
Yeah.
too. So it's kinda-
Speaking of original, hi Jolly, how you doing?
Puppet. I'm the puppet. Come
That's
on,
true.
guys. Yeah, come on.
Official.
Hey, at least
Tom,
we got him to
Tom.
acknowledge you.
Little Chad, Culture's here. Oh, Mad Fart again. How's it going, buddy?
He's got his own theme song, but he ain't got no legs.
What?
No feet.
Speaking of
No
no
feet.
legs, I want to get back to this conversation because
No legs, no
if
feet. He's got 3 legs.
if cost the studio $110 million in production budget, they spent probably $80 million in support of it. So let's just round everything to $200 million.
You guys saw If. Is there anything in that movie that constitutes why those guys had to be animated, or could they just have been guys in freaking like Jim Henson costumes?
Yes,
Speaking of-
they were doing things like they were superhero characters. There was, like I said, a marshmallow that was melting. I mean, there were things that were special effects. I mean, that made them more than just like a person walking around as an imaginary friend.
And that's true, but like I said, I mean, a lot of them could have been a puppet or a person in a costume, especially Blue, which is the big purple monster. But if the imaginary friends here only scoring a $35 million open is not a good number. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, 26 million at 101 million. This thing, even with the massive support overseas, I don't know it. It's going to struggle to get over 400 million. This is not a good sign for the studios. Fall Guy, look at Fall Guy here. Fall Guy fell all the way down to only 8.4 million this last weekend, right? And it's sitting at 62 million domestic.
Well,
this
that's
thing
one
won't
of the
make its
bigger
money back.
losers right there. I
Yeah.
mean, look at it that way. Because at least with Apes, chances are between VOD, video, and Afterlife, that will probably make its money back at some point. Fall Guy is never going to make its money back.
Well,
It
Challengers
Challengers,
is money loser. Back to Black was disappointing. That thing fizzled out. 2.8 million.
Yeah, but what was Back to Black probably had a budget of $6-7 million. I mean,
I have no idea what that even is.
that
That's
is the
the
Amy
Amy
Winehouse
Winehouse.
biopic. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, skip.
Yeah. Well, and it sounds like it
Exactly.
falls in that shitty biopic range that we're getting more of than not, like the Tupac movie and the whatever else.
well, the reason the Tupac movie sucks is because he's not dead.
that may be true, but they did a horrible
man,
job
I-
with that story. I mean,
I
it's
do
just
not
like,
need that. But look, 26
Yeah.
million so far. And
I
that,
hear
look,
Tupac's still doing ballet in Russia.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I do
You-
know this. That
You
this
do
was,
know that the bullet he dodged was named Jada?
Oh man, no kidding.
Well, and that's my problem with that movie. That movie feels like Jada Smith came in and fucking made sure she was the biggest part of his life. And I'm like, bitch barely played a role. Like, what the hell is this about?
Yeah. Real quick, just to address the chat a little bit. Culture Casino cut Mad's mic in half. And
Yeah, I already
Tom by-
adjusted my game.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Well, and as I was saying before, they kind of cut Godzilla off at the knees because it was still in the top, 5 for the last few weeks, and then they dumped it on video on demand this last week, and look at it where it's at now. And it actually leaked online before it hit video on demand anyway. That's also something that's been happening lately and hurting these films.
Now,
Well-
I got to go back to my previous argument too. Is people are just they're hurting. We're struggling. The groceries are higher, gas is up out of the roof. People are not getting raises like they should right now with the inflation, and they got to start making budget cuts. And going to the movies is going to be one of them cuts, and it's showing. That's what I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
only
Right.
reason I can keep going is because Alamo does a $20 a month subscription, and I can just go to the movies. So I mean, that's
Well, and that's
That's
a
not
premium
too bad.
theater too. That's not
Yeah.
bad at all. Yeah.
yeah. So it's and AMC does the same thing where you can, if you want to be a moviegoer, and you've got one of those in your area, that's probably your best bet, is to do one of those 20. They're all ranging around 20-22 bucks a month. But the other problem is they're not putting enough product out to justify even doing that. Like, I didn't start this subscription till April because I knew that's when there was going to start being at least 2 movies a month for at least the next 4 or 5 months that would make it worthwhile.
Well, see, and if I had that ability, because that's the thing, is I can relate to people who have a family and stuff, because I got to travel an hour just to go to a decent theater, and I'm still spending, 20 some bucks or more a time on a ticket. So I know what it's like to have to deal with all that stuff. But if I was in an area where I was close and I had like the AMC thing, like you're talking about, the stubs or whatever, like I'd go see just about everything I could, whether I knew I'd like it or not, just because. And I'd especially pay attention to what smaller films and stuff like that they're getting too, because those are the ones that deserve more attention sometimes.
Right. Now, and you're 100% right. I mean, AMC stubs is a good deal for some people, especially if you like to go to the theater. But again, for you, it's an hour drive every time you
That's the biggest problem.
Yeah. Real quick, over on Rumble, thank you for being over there, folks, on the big green machine. I try not to say the word grumble because they don't like it. So the big green is doing really well. Lots of folks over there. Thanks for that. Maestro Chi has a question for Tom. When will Godzilla -1 come to 4K?
That question has now become the new James Cameron question. The best I can tell you is probably July. It has just come out recently in Japan, and people got to remember, Japan kind of still runs on the old school kind of method, right?
Yeah.
Like, because it came out originally, I think, in October over there, something like that, and then it hit here in December, and their home video version just hit over there. So I would imagine about July. But if they were smart, they should have just done it worldwide release, because I posted this on X too. It recently come out that Godzilla X -1 is now the biggest. I saw this on X. I meant is now the most downloaded movie right now. And I'm like, well, it wouldn't be if you could actually get your hands on a fucking DVD of it or Blu-ray or 4K of it.
Yeah,
that's what people
tough
want.
holding out. I haven't seen it yet, but I've been waiting on it to release.
And even though
UHD.
the other thing is the Japanese version, they don't put subtitles on it, right? So they think that's gonna stop something. Oh no, we're smarter than that. There's already 20 different versions out there with subtitles. Exactly.
Right.
You can. That's one of the easiest things to do, is just find and download your subtitle track, and then just.
Not that we say you should do that, but
I mean,
No.
if that happened, I don't know who would have done that. I mean, the only thing is it's not in 4K, so Matt will never watch it.
You're damn right. I'm not gonna watch it like a gross poor person. Ugh.
I
In
hear you.
1080p.
Yeah. And
I know, man. I hear you.
Wow.
well, real quick, we're going to
We
jump
don't
subjects.
watch movies like The Peasants. Are you kidding?
All right. Well, real quick, we're going to jump. We're going to jump subject. We got to jump subjects because we got 2 more to get to, and we have limited time tonight. Jason Webster for an Australian $10. Thanks for being there, my friend. Appreciate it. Says front loading of films for opening weekend would not be financially viable long term. Initial success led to complacency and drop in quality. Factor in Hollywood filmmaking is now so standardized.
Speaking of Australians, I was watching the full Aussie yesterday, with Lethal and Grant Gregory, and they literally just destroyed Furiosa, that new Mad Max movie that's coming out. And Australia is supposed to be one of their biggest dynamics because Mad Max was originally filmed there, and it's kind of sad to see, but I think I can foresee the future that that movie's going to not do as well as a lot of people think. And
Furiosa is going to open on par with the Marvels. It'll be.
And I've been saying this for a while because people forgot that the last movie flopped.
Right.
Like I don't understand where people get it in their heads that.
I don't think it's. Look, and for a lot of different reasons. And again, the Australians really do have a lot of talent that comes out of there. I mean, Chris Hemsworth is actually in.
Well, they're going to be great swimmers. It's
Mad
natural
Max
selection. The sharks will get them if they're not fast.
That's true. But back to that. I mean, this is another Mad Max film with no Mad Max,
right?
Or very little Mad Max, or
And
this is Mad Max -1.
What did they add to the title? It's like Furiosa, a Mad Max story,
saga story.
It's right up there with like Road One, a Star Wars story. I mean, quit doing that shit. Just make
Worse.
the movie. If you really thought this movie was going to be popular on its own, you would have just called it Furiosa.
Hashtag bring back Mel and let's see his later in life story. That's what we all want to see. How dumb are these people? I don't get it.
I don't know, but he's pretty old. But I just want to say thanks, Jason Webster, for that, and I want to say thanks to those of you commenting. Now, normally, you guys know me, I'd be bringing up your comments, but guess what? I can't because of whatever weird technical thing happened. So sorry about that. But you know somebody else who's sorry right now? Do you want to know? You want to know?
George Lucas?
No.
Oh.
Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy's very sorry right now.
Oh no, what happened?
Diddler.
He pulled a Ray Rice. I mean, which means he did it. He wasn't sorry about it. A video came out, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm really sorry now."
He's sorry you saw the video. That's what he's
should be
sorry
saying.
about.
Yep.
This
But
guy
he got
destroys careers, literally.
I mean, I
one of
think
my
he destroyed something like that poor woman in the video.
Oh yeah, and then if you sign with Bad Boy, you basically put a death sentence to your career.
Yeah.
I've watched great groups like the Locks and 8 Ball and MJG. They signed with Bad Boy and it just went downhill, tanked. Never heard from him. And
He also destroyed Tupac's pulse. Some say.
And he also destroyed Biggie's pulse too, because he wanted the rights.
Hang
to all
on
that
now.
stuff.
Which is it? 10 minutes ago, y'all said he was still alive. Or did the diddler kill him?
Man,
Tupac is like a Schrodinger's cat. He is both dead and not dead at the same time.
Does that make P Diddy the acid in the box or whatever?
Yeah, P Diddy is the capsule that's gonna go off at some random time.
Well, Tupac recorded like hundreds of songs when he was with Death Row. He was a workhorse. I mean, he literally was pumping song after song. That's why he was able to put out so many albums after he post-mortem.
Well, I mean,
it's easy to do that when
you get hung by the ankles by outside a hotel room if you don't produce for Suge Knight.
Yeah,
right.
And the same thing goes with like Sean on the other side here. All he did was just loop shit. Like,
by the way,
here's the thing. I'm not somebody who usually relishes in the downfall of a celebrity. It's like, because those things happen all the time. They love to tear them down.
But
this is one that I kind of relish because this motherfucker killed rap.
Yep. By the way, I guess we now know who's the better producer, Suge or P Diddy. I think we're
hands down Suge. At least he wasn't diddling.
Is it any coincidence that this story comes out and then Ben Affleck and J-Lo are getting divorced because P Diddy needs his beard back ASAP?
Oh, right. Yo, Jenny on the
from
block has a Glock.
I need you, paging Jenny from the block.
Well, Snoop Dogg owns Death Row now, and Dr. Dre probably made the best business decision by leaving Death Row when he did and started Aftermath. And of course, he signed, Eminem and 50 Cent and others. So, there's a success story there. And now DPG's back together again, which is Snoop Dogg, Corrupt, and Daz, who are an original group from Death Row Records.
The best decision Dre ever did was making Beats and selling it for $1 billion.
Right.
To Apple. That's what made him the money. It wasn't the music industry.
Oh no, Slim Shady made him a lot of cash too. Don't get it twisted. Yeah.
Well, real quick, just so people are informed on the story. So the video from 2016 recently surfaced. Now, this is a video that he paid off a $50,000 buy off of this video. So it now just made it back into the public.
By the way,
consciousness.
doesn't that seem super cheap for what that video was?
Right.
I mean, I feel like
well,
for as career ending as the video is, that should have been worth more than $50,000.
That's true. Hey, real quick, Barry Place 28 gifted a Culture Casino membership. Thank you. Very generous. Check out Barry Place 28, one of the cadre of theme park channels out there that does a really good job. So check it out. Thank you for being here, my friend, and thank you for the gift. Sassy Lass says there is a short called Logan the Wolf on YouTube that puts what has been being released in theaters to shame. You turned me on to the Batman short and would like to do the same. I will check that out. Have you guys heard of this Logan the Wolf?
Yeah, it's like
I saw a couple
Viking
clips
Wolverine
from it.
thing.
All right, I'm going to check that out.
Dramatic.
I will certainly check that out. All right, thank you for that.
Hard R rated.
That's fine.
Yeah, you got to.
That's fine. I'm an adult. All right, so this is from what the Diddler said. It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life, but sometimes you got to do that. I was effed up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in this video. They're disgusting. I was
In
disgusted.
fact,
then.
I'm going to write a new single about it.
Yeah, I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
Every breath you take.
Yeah, ask
Every
Shine
move
that
you
the rapper that he
make.
had do a little bit of dirty work for him and now doing life in prison.
This is
You know,
also
this
more
guy's
evidence about
trash.
why
I'll
Kobe
show
was a
you just how
closer,
much of a
because
beating
he
you can
no footage
take.
got leaked. He put his wife on lockdown with a new ring. He got all that stuff taken care of.
Broken jaw.
Wow, you guys are funny.
Was
Okay, I'll
Diddy on
finish
a
up what he
Jeffrey
said.
at the time?
Okay, I was going to finish this up real quick. I've been going to therapy, going to rehab. I had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm
sounds like a
so
rhyme.
sorry, but I'm committed to being a better man and each and every day.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not
By the
asking
way,
for-
I'm gay.
I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
That's the next step, and we all know it, right?
Pulling the spacey. But I'm very gay. You can't.
Well,
You
yeah,
can
there's enough
see,
proof out there.
Well, you can also see how ugly he is if you go watch the documentary that Joaquin Phoenix did when he tried to be a rapper. He went to go visit P Diddy, and P Diddy was just nasty mean to him. I mean, it was ugly. And it gives you a good insight of just the personality this guy has. He's a real piece of work.
Yeah. So this is Diddy. This is the Diddy.
I just want to know, like, who he finally pissed off enough, because it's like Weinstein in that these people are very protected for a long time, even though Weinstein, it was well known his behaviors for 20 years, and then all of a sudden
It's the
it
power,
became-
man.
So, but yeah, so what happened where P Diddy suddenly wasn't useful to
Doesn't have
whoever?
the power anymore. Yeah.
His Sean John clothing line pretty much just tanked now. I mean, it hit peak popularity back in the 2000s.
And the music industry cratered, too. That's the other thing.
Yeah, that's the other
Well,
thing.
yeah, but
And
that's
Napster killed it a lot too.
Yeah, well, that and again, it came down to a format change, which I'm sure Tom can go into depth on. But I want to grab this Jason Webster with another Australian $5 saying, even the title Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, eerily gives off Solo a Star Wars story vibes. Yikes! Yeah, I agree with you, Jason Webster.
I can give you a small short tale about how the movie industry would learn much from checking out what happened to the music industry in the last 10 years and how trying to destroy physical media, which used to make you dollars, if not, tens of dollars, per
Tens
sale,
of dollars.
as opposed to pennies that you get from streaming now.
Yeah.
Think about that. A whole industry destroyed, not because of Napster so much really, but because of Spotify, Amazon Music,
YouTube Music.
You don't
That's-
have to pay for a song anymore.
Well, that's where they make their money, Tom, is the ad revenue off their songs on YouTube. That's
What
one
ad?
of the big.
What ads?
Exactly. Like when you're a big, huge corporation that used to bring in millions upon billions a year from, selling plastic to people like us, to selling nothing for pennies. Yeah, there's no money in it.
Well,
And the artists are only making the money. Yeah, if you're a solo artist without any thing, yes, you can make some money on YouTube, especially if you get a following, and you can definitely make some money doing live shows. And that's where most of these artists are making any of their money anymore, is the live stuff, and that's it.
Tom McDonald.
Tom McDonald.
He did really well for himself. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus,
But
there's
he's an exception,
there's these two old guys out there that I love, so they're doing a good job too.
Those old rapper guys.
Yeah, those old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that you know most of them.
That's the way to go, folks, is try to be independent when you try to make music now. The ones that you see these days, like Ice Spice, Megan Thee Stallion, all these, they're industry plants. They're handpicked to be put out there to help, push the messaging, and rap has been feminized now. I mean, you don't really see big name male rappers coming out anymore. It's all these female rappers, Megan Thee Stallion.
Are you
over
saying that the WAP being the #1 rap song was an artificial construct that somehow didn't make sense given the hip hop landscape of the last 30 years?
I'll give you an example. Little Nas X, he became quote unquote viral off of his SoundCloud for the Old Town Road song, and of course he jumped with Billy Ray Cyrus and got it over transcended to the country music. And then what do you know? He didn't say a word about it until it was done. Already been viral. Kids are singing his song, and then he comes out as extreme gay and starts doing twerking videos with the devil. Oh, just for your kids. Tell me he's not an industry plant.
Well,
Working with the devil.
I think it. Look, and I know that it's funny because we have a lot of rap aficionados on this panel at the moment, including Mad. You wouldn't believe it, but Mad knows something or two about music. So
Yeah.
Especially NSYNC.
yeah.
How dare
yeah.
you? There are no
Is knowing
strings attached.
something-
It's underrated.
Now getting
Is knowing
to-
something about rap the same as knowing something about music?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
I was going to say one of the
Wow.
things that just proves,
Strong
I think,
stuff.
Tom's point about the finances for music is look at what Stranger Things did for Kate Bush with Running Up That Hill. She was an 80s singer with an 80s song, but she was independent then, and so she still owned the rights to her music. And so when that song got huge again off being in Stranger Things season 4, she made more money with that thing going to number 1 again than she ever did off any record deals or anything else she had ever done in the 80s because she
That's a
still
fact.
owned the rights.
Yep.
And so she was like posting all
Well-
this stuff about how great it was for her. So even like if you're an artist and you can manage to hold on to the rights to your songs, you're in a much better position to monetize in the future.
Well, that's technically why Prince changed his name to a symbol back in the day, but that's a whole nother discussion. But yeah, no, you're 100% right. And the other thing about that is that soundtrack also sold records. See, not just digital downloads, but people actually went out and bought the record at Walmart, right? Like I saw that like 10 copies at Walmart, like people were buying it. And
buying the
that's the other
vinyl.
thing.
Yep.
Exactly. Like all the industry did was get themselves pushed back to a point where they brought back vinyl. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not going to push the movie industry back to a point where they're going to somehow bring back VHS. But I just hope they realize and take a look at this and go, wait a minute. We've been going at this the wrong way. We need to embrace physical media and the old format a little bit more
You're right,
than the
but
modern format.
They also take it the wrong way. So there's 2 routes they're going to go with physical media, and they're right now the route they're going is niche product to a high-end consumer who will pay $40-$50
Right.
for a 4K copy of Conan.
Basically me. Yeah.
Which is great. There's a market for that, but if you wanted to do mass economics on scale again, what they should do is the opposite. You have to recognize that when a streaming service costs sometimes maybe $5 to $10 per month, you can't sell a movie for 2-3 times that and sell it to the general population. Movies should be running $5 for DVDs, about $8-9 for Blu-rays,
I
and around
agree.
12 to 15 for 4Ks.
And this is where the music industry fucked themselves with the CD and why people see a premium now in an inferior product. I don't give a shit what you say out there, what you feel about your vinyl, but all those vinyls you're buying right now from
shots fired
Walmart
at
are
culture.
coming from the same exact digital master as the CD you could buy. Point being is that the CD, they got busted doing this. See, this is where they fucked themselves too, and this is where they should take more note too from the music industry. Is CDs shouldn't have been more than like $5 by the time 1990 something rolled around, because it didn't cost them nearly as much to make. And you're exactly right, Chad. They need to kind of rethink the format of how they're feeding media to the consumer.
I think Tom,
Because
you can
you're 100% right.
You can speak
Okay.
to when I was just going to say in the 80s, what really launched home video is when they changed the economics and started selling home videos for like $15 to $20.
The sell-through,
1999.
exactly,
Yeah. The $25 to the $20 range. The 1999
Instead
ones.
of like the $100 a copy.
Yeah,
it
and
used
the reason they were priced so high before and only video stores got them, and
because
Tom
they had
can
a
back
rental
this up.
market. Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
because
that's what we don't have anymore.
Yeah, we don't have that. And again, this has happened in Hollywood, the music industry, all that. They cannibalize themselves because they think, oh wait, grass is greener over there. The way we've been doing it forever, making money hand over fist, isn't worth it anymore, right? So we're going to do it different. We're going to create a whole new format in streaming and see just how screwed up that's going to make everything else. And we will be desperate at that point to, spelunk for profit at a time when, if you just kept the prices down, if you just went with what you were doing to begin with, you'd be fine. Because
Well,
all
that's
you're doing is recreating broadcast television when, on your streaming platforms. And the consumers are not fooled. You know how I know that? Because right now, they're stuck at 50% linear broadcast still. And that number is likely to go up because all this crap is too darn expensive. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
that's where the music industry really screwed up culture, because back in the day, the late 90s, maybe even early 90s, they would put out singles where you would buy your favorite song and maybe have an instrumental and a remix on there, $2, $3, $4, very affordable even for your high school kids. And those things sold like hotcakes. Big, Notorious Big, he made I think over 10 million just off his single of Hypnotize. So when they took that away, they really cornered themselves in the market. And then, of course, Napster pretty much did the rest.
Well, they also, and I think I was talking with Brahma about this, and it might have been even not on stream, but because we were talking about when that changed, we were actually on this topic, and I brought up how once you got Napster and you also got CD burners, and you saw how many songs could fit on a CD, and how much CDs cost in that big spindle versus, I mean, where you start doing the economics of scale, like if I'm buying thousands of CDs, they're pennies, they're not like expensive,
Right.
and you're like, wait a second, a CD can hold 20 songs. Why was I paying $24 for a CD that had six? Like, what are you doing? And I'm not even talking about converting to MP3s. Like, if you're doing the WAV files, sometimes you could get that many songs on there to make it a real audio CD. And that completely changed my outlook on ever buying CDs again,
Yeah.
because I was like, this
Yeah.
is ridiculous. I'm getting jobbed on this. These are terrible prices. The only ones I looked back and felt good about were like the Queen greatest hits like CDs that had two CDs with 24 songs, and I paid like $12 because it was like the third time they had put out that greatest hits album. And I was like,
I,
okay, that seemed okay. I
Yeah.
was
But
I
then
think
it jumped
another.
real quick to iTunes.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because I think a big game changer was the auxiliary cable, right? Once you had that hookup in your car and you could hook it up directly to an iPod,
Yes.
that game changer. Period.
You mean you
I
weren't
wouldn't even
rocking
look
the
at a car
cassette
that didn't
adapter?
have auxiliary cable
I
hookup,
was killing that cassette adapter for about a decade.
right?
And making sure
Remember-
that wire didn't get crimped where it was going into the machine, and you're like, oh man, I gotta
20
tweak
second
it.
skip protection my ass.
yeah,
All right,
you
real
got to
quick,
hold
we
on
got
to your
to.
CD player to make sure it played for your ride.
Well, hey, actually,
Bounce
we had
around.
we had a great conversation about that and the anti-skip and everything else. And the Discman and all that. We talked about that on Jesse's monetization birthday stream the other day. That's the Common Nerd finally got their new channel back up and monetized. That was a lot of fun. You check that out. But real quick, Jason Webster sent in Australia $10 again. Today we are sponsoring this channel between you and Big Daddy MRI and, well, of course, Jeremiah Hembry and Walter Tomaszewski and Barry Plays 28. You guys are doing us a solid, and of course all the gifted memberships at the beginning of the stream. Front loading of films for opening weekend could not be financially viable long term. Initial success led to complacency and drop in quality factor in Hollywood filmmaking is now so standardized. I think I read this
Do you not
comment.
Yeah,
remember
it's
reading
the
it?
newer one. It's down
Yeah.
lower.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
There
I'm
it is.
sorry. There it is. Yeah. In the
Send the timeout.
1980s, I was going to say, yeah, that's weird. In the 1980s, not only did music have an electric feel, the musicians and groups presented diversity of personality as well as talent. Today, most musicians feel they like they came off an assembly line. I would
That's
say,
because all hits
Yeah.
are written by about 3 people.
And they all use 4 chords.
I'll be honest,
Yeah.
I haven't even listened to enough like new music to tell
No.
you what it's like. I mean, and this is something else, Brom and I talked about. Once music became all digital like that, no reason to even go to a record store or even peruse the aisle. You can just stick with what you liked. You've got thousands of songs that are a-okay. Why bother trying to deal with new stuff when you can't even listen to all you have already in like a week or two? So just hit shuffle and have a good time.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think I've changed from AM radio to FM since 2003.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I
That's so
don't even know
weird.
why it's on.
That's so weird because I started listening to talk radio in '89, and I nine times out of 10 that I'm on the AM dial.
Yeah.
Because there's jack all as far as good music out there anymore.
I don't know if AM just doesn't work as good here in Virginia because I could never. The interference and the signal quality was always so shit. It was one of the things I went out and got XM satellite radio like year one when it was available,
Mhm.
just because I couldn't. I wanted talk radio, but I
Right.
didn't want to have to like hear every third word like Limbaugh and all those guys. The stations just never came in right, so I got that. And once I had satellite radio, man, I had ONA had a whole channel. I had I had comedy. I had a comedy channel where it was just stand up like 20. I mean, I was done with regular radio, and
But you can
I
do all
haven't
that through
listened to them.
YouTube now, though. I
Well,
think.
now this was in
Yeah.
2001.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're Pandora, right? Pandora,
Yeah, Pandora.
XM. I mean, you can get XM on your phone. You don't even need a radio anymore. You Spotify. I mean, we can go through a bunch of these services that do that. But YouTube does music, and Awesome One was talking about that. And for those of you who are just arriving recently, we're gonna when we wrap up, we're gonna put the link to Pro's show, which is going to be starting up here pretty quick. I'm going to put the link to that so you can go over there. But this show will automatically redirect to Lorena Creel's show, which will be about a half an hour after we wrap up here. So about 25 minutes from now. So you'll have a couple of shows that you can go to. Obviously the Pro show, and then you can go on over to Lorena Creel's show automatically. So when I put the link for Pro, which I've already done once, you right-click it, open it in a separate tab if you're on PC, and just check that out. But I just wanted to say that we had a weird technical difficulty at the beginning of the stream, which means yeah, which means that the first stream lasted 10 seconds, and this one decided to fire up. So I lost the ability to click the chat. I can click on the big green monster over here with the little green emblem. But the YouTube chat is a fail. So I'm having to share super chats and stuff the old-fashioned way. I just want to say thank you for those of you supporting the channel. We appreciate you. Hey, Puppet Guy.
Yes.
You were a big-time rapper.
I don't know about big time, but
yeah.
I had my moment in the sun. Yeah.
What do you think is missing right now from music?
Oh, well, no, I was just going to say, actually, there is still good music out there, folks, but you have to ignore the mainstream because the mainstream's full of industry plants, okay? So I'll give you an example. Like MC Ren, a rapper from NWA, and I'm staying in the hip hop sphere because that's what I listen to. But MC Ren put out an album last year that was really good. Mount Westmore, which comprises of Too Short, Ice Cube, E40, and Snoop Dogg, was an amazing album. Every song on there is brilliant. But you don't hear about these things. You only hear about the Ice Spices and the Cardi B's and that crap because they're trying to shove it down your neck and influence your children. But if you get, start digging in, you can find underground peeps that make great music. Like there's this guy named Snowdub. He makes a song Tuck and Roll. Man, it's good. It's a good song.
Well, I
you
still
got
think
people from the Third Coast. You got Waco Tron. You got Big Crit.
Mhm.
A lot of good fucking music coming from the Third Coast.
I still say this that Snowdub's best work was Rent Stew.
Rent Stew's a good one. Yeah.
Rent Stew. Yeah.
That's Mexican Iron Man's favorite.
Yeah, mine too.
He plays it every time he collects his taxes.
There you go. Oh yeah, we don't have a lot out there. I don't think as far as quality music. I mean, there is some, but we don't have a lot of it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got on the radio once, which was cool. I was only centralized in the Northwest, Washington State, Idaho, Montana, Oregon a little bit, but it is possible to break through. I mean, you can get an impact, but you have to do it the old-fashioned way. I went viral on Facebook, back around 2014, of all places, folks. Facebook is where I went viral. And then it transferred over, and I got some good perks out of that. I got to go to some great games, got to go out on the field. I got to hang out with Marshawn Lynch's parents and Richard Sherman's parents, and got a football over here signed by all kinds of players and pictures. And and it was a great time. And I did, I'd say maybe 15, 20 different concerts. They were all fundraiser concerts and rallies to help out children's hospitals. So I didn't make any money, but I got lots of perks, and so I thoroughly enjoyed my short-lived hip hop career.
There was a local band I used to listen to from up in your was it Blue School, Old School? You know what I'm talking about? They're a rap group. I'd have to look them up.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, about that
Uh,
era, about that time frame too.
CultureCasino, the man, not the myth.
No, that's not
what
them.
they say. My beard does not smell like fish. I may look like Hobo Gandalf, but we are not one and the same. That's right.
What?
CultureCasino is my name.
Word.
Has like a digital underground feel to it.
This is one step
That's a
removed from the
compliment.
Humpty Hump.
Yeah, Tom has a new channel. What's it called, Tom?
Lost Classics.
That's right. There you go.
But I drop the songs first on Midnight's Edge After Dark until Lost Classics gets monetized.
That makes
Well,
sense.
we've also got some other people within our sphere that are doing stuff with music, like Mike from XRL7 just had his new episode release.
Oh, that let me tell you, that was great, man. That was a great episode. You guys are missing something special if you don't have that. You want to throw that in the chat, Brahma? That his
But
channel.
I'm uncovering all sorts of lost classics like this.
Hey, you're doing a good
Now
job.
that I
Dude.
got dog glue on my shoe, I don't know what the fuck to do. I gotta work
Wow.
and it's 1:45. Maybe I can pretend I have the flu. I know the smell it and everyone agrees he has horrible hygiene. This is the most embarrassing thing in the world. I think I'm gonna hurl. I can't seem to scrape it off. It just makes the smell worse. I didn't even walk on grass. This is the grossest thing in the universe. Now that I got dog glue on my shoe, I wish I knew what the fuck to do. I have some of the worst luck. Man, this is starting to suck.
There you go.
Wow.
So that's just a piece.
Wow. Yeah.
Whatever you said, Jolly, we did not hear.
Yeah, it was amazing, Jolly. Say it again.
Oh, I said my grandma used to play that on the sonograph.
Oh, really? It's a hard to find song.
Yeah. Okay, so here's another two super chats from our good friends out there in the world. It's Big
Monies.
Daddy MRI for $5. $5 make you holla. Culture Casino, listen to some music from Two Steps from Hell. It's called Epic Classical, but it's so much more. I think you'd enjoy them. Well, I will. And thank you for that. I appreciate it. Hey, check this out. I'm going to hit the little heart button next to Cyrano's super chat for $5. Cyrano says, side benefit of crud pop music, more interest in local artists and independence. Yes. Yes, my precious. So, and Jason Webster comes in again, hot with an Australian $5, saying, if released, Tom's song parodies would make the top 10 more times than most of today's musicians.
Probably not wrong.
I don't think you are wrong. Don't think you're wrong.
Around on the floor.
Oh boy.
Just can't take it no more. I can't reach an itch. And it's itching like a son of a bitch.
Oh boy.
I really need to learn to wipe.
I've been there.
But I'm just not the type. So I'll continue to roll and roll. Cause I can't reach the edge of my bottle.
Oh boy. That's really.
Penicillin's
By the
a
way,
lifesaver.
that might work on a late night Sunday night, but Sunday afternoon they do a little bit. You don't know who's.
That were the tamer ones, man.
Fair enough.
And Jolly did the same.
Jolly,
thing
you're
again.
muted.
Fresh out of church, I said.
And then, some people. Yeah, well,
I mean,
hey.
I feel like you need to use your new found talent for finding lost classics to find a Mad Mardigan classic.
Yeah.
Well, I already wrote him a song.
Really, Matt?
Brutally
You remember the lyrics?
half-assed it.
All right. Well,
And I use it constantly.
I want
He
to.
uses for the most inappropriate things. Too.
Yes, he does.
I want to say we do have the return of some commercials.
Oh,
Yeah, we do. In fact, here's the first one.
This Pixel Entertainment Network international streaming service presentation is brought to you by Muff's Bar. Muffs Along the Riverwalk has been a popular but hard-to-find pearl in the heart of San Antonio's Forest District. So popular, in fact, our Little Muffs is growing. The new home to the biggest clams in the South is located at 6969 Kamanawanalia Boulevard in glistening Glaze City, Texas. Come by and let us flash you our new Muffs today. And remember, Muff's Bar, finger-licking good since 1969.
So there you go. And thank you.
What country's flag was in there?
I have no idea. Probably Texas.
It was
Texas
Glaze
used to be
City is not that close to San Antonio. It's like 2.5 hours away.
It's fine. It's fine. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Oh, never mind. That's a diver's flag. That makes sense now for the joke.
All right. Well, look, guys, we're going to start wrapping things up. We got so much stuff going on in our world right now, and we were only planning on the 90-minute type of situation, which means, well, we've got the flu man here.
Oh.
Not really.
Oh, never mind.
He was there briefly. Wait, he's back.
Oh.
No, he's not.
Oh.
He's not back.
Oh, never mind.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame. But we do have some more interesting things out there, including, well, the outros. Guys, are you ready for your outros?
Oh God! Please don't tell me it's the Gary one again.
No,
please.
No, we're not doing the Gary thing. But how's it? Snowed Up, tell everybody, as my official co-host, tell everybody where you're at, what you're doing, and what's happening.
Next Saturday night, we're season finale of the Tuck and Roll show. Should be a good show. Hope to have some big names over there. Maybe guys like Tom and Culture Casino could stop by. That'd be pretty awesome.
There you go.
Yeah. Also, we'll be wrapping that up, and then we're heading over to Cotton Council Season 3. That's when I team up with Floral and a whole bunch of other crazy puppets, and we bring you the best R-rated puppet show out there, because we're trying to make Muppets great again. #MMGA, MUGA. And I am Jim Henson's middle finger. Thank you.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Of course, we also have the man, the myth, the legend, Mad Mardigan.
Oh, hey, nothing.
You don't promote anything? Don't you do stuff?
I ain't got nothing. Yeah, I'm looking for a new producer for a new channel that wants to do a lot of the work.
Oh, well, there you go. There you have it. He's looking for somebody to do
all the money.
You get all the money up until it's like enough to where it's worth me trying to pay taxes again. Does that make sense?
Sure thing. Speaking of things that make sense, it's Tom.
Hi.
Promote something.
I like turtles.
Okay.
I got channels: Midnight's Edge, After Dark, Lost Classics, Things I Do, Stuff for Reasons.
There you go.
Mead Radio. Don't forget Mead Radio.
Yeah.
Mead Radio.
Yeah. Tom does good stuff. Tom has fun stuff. Check out Tom's fun stuff.
Culture Casino.
Thank you. Thank
I
you,
just
Tom.
said his name.
You do Culture Casino? I knew you guys were close.
I'm on the H-Cast with him, though.
That's true.
Super fucking gay.
You know, we do have a music video for that, right?
Thank you, Toxic.
All right. Speaking of
I didn't do that one.
Interesting people. This is Little Chad. Little Chad has a channel. It's called Ascendant Art.
Yep.
Fridays. I love the pronunciation.
Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern. I co-host the Ascendant Art podcast with Slender Dad. We usually have Brahma and Mad when he's available will come on, and sometimes other fun guests like Culture and everyone else. 70s Rocksman comes on. Anyway, we just do a hangout stream, talk about whatever, and then do usually music trivia at the end. That Brahma is so committed to playing and winning that he'll call in from Las Vegas in a bathroom to play.
No joke, sitting on the toilet, called in just to try to win.
Yep. So,
try to win?
Yeah, try to win. Like I said,
try to win.
None of that surprises me.
Well, what doesn't surprise me is that Toxic Man Flu is going to do what he does, which is promote Beach punk.
Yeah, so the Muffs commercial was there for a reason. We do have a new shirt. Muffs Bar, Taste Paradise.
That's right.
All right, multiple colors. There's a nice there. Well, look at all these beautiful pinks.
It looks great. Yeah, if you're looking for something pink,
flesh
Muffs
color.
Bar. Yeah, flesh color. There you go. Yeah.
Pink.
Yeah.
Looks the same.
Yeah.
Even in black.
Yeah.
We are not racist.
That's right.
There you go.
And all the colors of the
all
rainbow.
the good stuff there.
Yeah.
Even blue waffle color.
Yeah.
Don't look that up.
Don't
when
look
you've
that
got
up.
that shirt on, you can paint with all the colors of the wind. There you go.
That's right.
All right. Well, speaking of which, we have
Beachpunk.us, ladies and gentlemen. Go there. Be square. Have a good time.
Yeah.
It's
And
fun.
yeah, of course, this guy is going to tell you what's coming up because tomorrow's a big day.
It is? What's happening
Monday.
tomorrow?
It's Monday.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not feeling well, so comics doesn't anything except sit on his ass. So hopefully there'll be a Monday meltdown tomorrow at 9 o'clock. We'll do that. And then Culture's got 6-minute dailies throughout the week. You all are already watching those. And you've got Tuesday shows. Tuesday, Thursday, you're doing Mr. H. And we'll be doing Yelling at Park Cars on Wednesday. A lot of stuff heating up, coming up with all the wonderful political things that are happening in this one. And I do want to say I have created a clean version of this for everyone.
What?
What?
Clean version of what?
Yeah, there we go. Mr. Streakers. I do want to say I heard from Andy Masterson. Oh, it just repeats. No, it doesn't. I turned the auto repeat off.
I don't know.
What's it doing? It's not doing this. It's supposed to go to dynamic scene, and then there we are. Okay, good. Did you play it again? You played it again.
I did not.
You're playing it again.
No,
you were doing this on purpose.
I didn't do it.
You're not doing this on purpose?
No, it wasn't me.
Oh,
I'm going to play the Gary clip if you don't.
What was I going to say?
Chill out.
I was going to say something.
I don't know.
See, Tom left as soon as you said that. As soon as you said Gary clip, he was out.
What's the Gary clip?
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, the Gary clip?
Oh, God, no.
What's this one?
I don't know what it is.
Please don't. No.
What?
No.
I can't see where it went. Oh, did I delete it again?
I don't know.
Did I? Is this it? Is it on? You know what the secret to this, surviving this is? Not looking at it. God, this is so bad. If I wasn't half a bottle in a NyQuil, I wouldn't have played this. Raw and uncut. I know. Just like Comics Division.
Adam's like too much beard. All right, well, let's get over to this real quick. Late super chat from our good friend Mark Daly for $5 says, they told me to see the Winehouse movie, and I said, no. That's right. All right, well, we have very few left of us here. Very few of us left here. There we go. And we have one last thing, which get your AOAOs out there, folks. I won't be able to highlight them because, but
Now,
it's still
fun.
fun.
Are we back on our regular time next week?
We will be back to the regular time next week, which which will be I'll be making an appearance on George the Giant Slayer show next Sunday, and then VR will be coming at you after that, and then obviously Lorena Creel and then obviously this show. So we'll be back to the normal time. Thank you all. I do not hate my audience. I love you all. Yeah, we're out of here. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Hopefully it's great. Do check out the link I put in the chat for Pro's show, which is running now. And then jump over to Lorena Creel's, which this automatically redirects to. Bye now.
Tuck and roll.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad.
Hey, look, the green machine works.
And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I'll fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your heart in two. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty.
Don't forget Brahma's hockey show on Saturday nights.
Oh yeah, did Brahma not get an outro?
Nope, not even a little one.
That's right, he's okay. The Avs lost. So he's probably happy about that. He doesn't spend more time with his kid. We embarrassed.
Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Rain is